Goddamn,
Jason, you getting bleezy?
fucking
Maybe I
love
should-
I
80s.
wish.
Maybe I should do a Transistor instead since I never played it.
Yeah, I think it's their worst game by far. Danny,
I did
really
like
likes Transistor.
2 hours of Transistor.
Almost did a spit take, Matt.
And without a camera, goddamn.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be going through naming the best weapon or item or tool of the year. Ryan, do you want to just get it out?
What's that?
The
The best Jason category? Boom.
I'm only happy because I think this is the first year in like 6 consecutive years where you haven't said it's me. So
I haven't revealed my number one yet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think it was a pretty
Spoilers.
good year for weapons and tools, all in all. On account of we got a Doom game, we got Hades, we got all sorts of shit. But Ryan, what do you think is the number 3 best weapon or tool?
Spinny Mask from Crash 4.
A spinny mask is a good fucking mask.
I mean, I've only gotten 2 masks so far, but every time that pops up, like, it's just so fun to mess around with all the stuff that they have. Like, those levels are some of my favorites in playing it.
So Jason, Matt, and Hunter, the spinny mask is in Crash. You get like these different masks that have like different powers, and they're only available for like limited sections of the level. It's not like a power up. They're clearly just like, hey, you play this little segment using this power. But you spin around, so you're perpetually spinning, which is cool. But then it gives you like kind of hovery, floaty jumps and lets you like double jump, so you can like clear huge areas. You're able to like float around, but then also since you're always attacking, you'll like instantly explode TNT or nitro or anything like that. It's super fun.
I like that it distorts the music.
The spinny one does?
Yeah, it makes it like echoey or whatever.
I know different ones.
Hunter, did you play Crash 4?
No, I've just seen the spinny one specifically.
Okay.
They all distort the music in different ways. I think when you have the one that freezes time, it slows music down and all that stuff.
Not voiced by Richard Horvitz, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be the Quantum Mask, which I don't like very much.
I like that like Switch style of gameplay in platformers. Mario does a lot of that also. But yeah, I like the spinny mask. It is probably the most fun mask out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is an item from Risk. I wanted to highlight an item out of Risk of Rain, specifically, and there's so many good ones, so many that I absolutely love. But the one that I feel like is iconically, definitively me is an item called the Gesture of the Drowned. Where what it is it severely reduces the cooldown on your like item, like your use item, but it automatically fires it. So you get a dramatic reduction, but you can't control when it goes off. But when you combine that with some of the different things in it, you can stack enough upgrades onto it to make it so you're just constantly firing whatever your thing is. And it gets to that point in a roguelike or something like that where the game is playing itself, which is amazing. Like I always want to feel like I've gotten one over on the game, and Gesture of the Drowned makes that super easy to do, and I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, it's probably the hardest item to unlock in the game, and it's not even hard, it's really tedious in a way that really sucks, and I've had to do it twice now. But it's worth it because it's the number 3 best weapon or tool of the year.
I think that game just has so much cool stuff. Like, I considered sitting down and being like, which thing from Risk of Rain did I like the most? But I think the fact that it's a roguelike makes it also like stuff works better just working together. So naming one specific thing was really hard for me.
And it's like I was tempted to name like some of the use items because they're more, like oh, let's do the crowdfunder as the weapon or tool for the year. But
good bit.
It also was like a lot of those items are in previous Risk of Rain games, and it was either going to be the ceremonial dagger or the Gesture of the Drowned, and I went with Gesture because I feel like I was more invested in that one.
Right, the sunk fallacy cost. Right,
well, Gesture is also
fallacy, whatever you want to call it.
Gesture is also a good combo with not just the build dash does, but just like a bunch of other shit too.
Yeah, it enables some truly stupid shit in that game. But yeah, that is my number 3. Matt, Little Miss Pigtails. What is your
that's me.
number 3 weapon or tool? Is it Pigtails?
It's no, that was number 4. Believe it or not.
Honorable mention.
Yeah,
Just barely made the cut.
my number 3 was the terraforming tool
Oh
in
yeah.
Animal Crossing because it
Oof.
allows you to finally make your island not suck ass.
I think that there is something lost not giving you like, your default island. Like I think that there's something soulful about like making a shitty island work, but also the second they revealed the terraforming tools, I lost my fucking mind because you wouldn't have to like keep re-rolling shitty islands at the beginning of the game.
Right.
Hopefully I can have a dick pond like I've always wanted.
Like it's
Bingo.
great. Being able to like make your mountains and shit like that, and
Unless you build too tall, then you can't put your house on top of that mountain.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of oxygen.
Unless you're Ryan, then you get stranded on top of a mountain.
Yep,
You
that
can't
happened
play
too.
without your girlfriend.
He's gonna run out of oxygen.
Yeah, I
terraforming
got
tool is great.
stuck at the top of the mountain because I put my house up there, but then we hadn't built any stairs down the mountain, so I just had to live up top until all the stairs got built.
Fucking stupid.
No, it was
Jason, what
great.
is your number 3?
My number 3 tool and or weapon and or item is the meat hook from Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
It's just fun to use. It's a cool grappling hook that pulls you towards your dudes, and then you shotgun them in the mouth.
What if
Yeah,
we made
I
the
think
super
that-
shotgun cooler?
Yeah. Who'd have known?
Remember
Who'd
that
have
thing
thought?
to make the super shotgun cooler? What if we lit it on fire?
Yeah. Grappling hooks are already one of the best things in video games. And the super shotgun is one of the best things in Doom. So what if we just mashed those together? That'd probably end well.
Yeah.
And guess what? It does.
What if
Mhm.
we put a grappling
Did it?
super shotgun that's actually your wife?
Look, Hunter,
Excellent.
one game can do it, and then that's it. You can't have grappling hook wife in multiple games.
It's making a comeback, I swear.
My only disappointment about the meat hook is that it's only on the super shotgun because I want to be doing it all the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would like to put it on, just be able to put it on pretty much anything.
But Hunter, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is the shield from Hades.
Shield is good.
It's good. That's what I'm using.
Which
That's
type of
weapon.
shield?
I don't know. I still only have base shield
Oh, okay.
I also
me
only
too.
have base shield.
Okay.
because I assume that's what the Titan blood is used for, but I
Mhm.
haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah,
so.
unlocking and upgrading different weapons is what you use Titan Blood for. Yeah, shield is in a game where there is maybe only one bad weapon.
Which one?
I hate the bow.
Mm.
I fucking hate the bow.
I like the gun too, but I like shield more.
The assault rifle.
Yeah,
Just the
With a-
straight up fucking
the,
assault rifle.
the assault rifle that looks like it bird.
Oh,
I
and what do
haven't,
they,
I haven't unlocked that yet.
they give it the hardest fucking name ever. What is it? Like the fucking
I don't
it's like
fucking-
something rail.
I don't
Sounds cool
remember
as hell.
any of the weapons names.
But yeah, the shield in Hades is a quite good one.
Let's see the guns.
My
name.
first ever win with Hades was with the shield.
The gun is Exagriff, the adamant rail.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's got a grenade launcher built in.
I wish my name was Exagriff.
It can
Well,
be.
Ryan, what is your number 2 exagriff of the year?
That's gonna be the map from Carto.
Man, I'm so glad that you played that game.
It took me a bit. I had it downloaded for like over a month, I think, before I really even messed with it. But it really clicked with me. It's really fun.
It was one of those Game Pass games where I just like saw a thing of it on Twitter or something. I was like, huh? Like, and so I go and download it and just like, hey Ryan, you please just check this out.
Yeah,
Even
and
if
it
you
was
just play
cool.
for an hour,
So
just try it.
yeah, I don't know if you guys know the gist of it, but you get this map that as you go around the game, you collect pieces of it that are like bits of the island that you're on. And then how you traverse through the world is you basically like match the pieces up so you can walk through it, but you can shift the map around to solve puzzles. So there'll be a time, one specific one that stands out is there's a shepherd who lost all of his sheep. And he's like, oh, I bet my other sheep is at its secret spot in the middle of all the snow flowers. So you set up on the map a like plus shape of flowers without anything in the middle, and then a new piece appears in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's
Like,
like you create the environment that people are describing. It's
You can,
really
like,
cool.
and you can like fast travel by just like moving people's houses right to like the next spot in front of you, or like moving other shit around. Like it's
Yeah,
really
and then the fact that
creative.
it works without like having to load. Like you don't shift anything around and then
Yeah.
unpause it, and it's like, ooh, changing the world. It's immediate. Like it's you shift it on a menu and you press B and you're back in the world. Then it's
Like,
already
it's this-
shifted around.
It's this technically wild thing that is in just this low key ass little game.
Yeah.
But I've
Terrible
never seen anything like it. It's
soundtrack, but
fucking
everything
cool.
else about it is great.
And it's on
But
Game
yeah,
Pass.
it's cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those like little indie things that I think is just going to kind of skirt under the radar. But it's got a really, really novel idea that works really, really well.
Like I only maybe played about 3 hours of that game, and I don't really have much of a desire to play more. But like I think that
3 hours, and you
mechanic-
didn't even make it to the forest part.
No, I I got to the forest people, but I didn't get to that specific forest part.
Okay, I mean, I played like an hour of that
Oh,
game,
geez.
and
I mean, maybe
Got
I
through
played
3
less than 3
chapters.
hours. I don't know, but I never made it past chapter 2. I know that. Never made it off the second island. But I think that game's dope as hell. And even if people don't play it, I think that just, hey, look at this fucking thing.
yeah, it's worth trying if it's free.
Yeah.
If
Highly
you know
recommend.
that game Carcassonne, it's got the map has the same rules as that. Is like
Carcassonne.
yeah, like pieces need to match up with the same kind of thing. Like the world needs to still make sense. You can't have like a forest popping up in the middle of a lake or something. But
Yeah.
it's cool. It's really interesting.
So my number
Dash,
two.
what's your number 2
my number
dash or
2
weapon?
is the end of an era.
It's not a weapon.
I don't like to throw around the term perfect that much, because I think that especially when dealing with video games, truly very few things can be perfect, unimprovable, or if you'd add anything, take anything away, it would be less. But for years, I have stood firmly by that the Xbox 360 controller is a perfect controller. With the
You're a
release
bastard.
with the release of the DualSense,
That's not how this
I
goddamn
have
game
been
works.
shown that it is not a perfect controller. The DualSense has become my new favorite controller, and the fact that Sony was able to make a
It's
controller
fucking great.
that dethroned the Xbox 360 controller, I would have never guessed. This thing is profound. I don't want to say that like it lives up and earns all of that marketing lip service they did about every single element of it. The rumble, the triggers, all of it. I am angry that Xbox does not have an equivalent to this, because third-party developers are not incentivized to develop for it. And this should just be game controllers now. It is ridiculous.
I want to play with it.
Like Borderlands, the different guns having different trigger
Oh, it's
profiles,
so
like
great.
it is, and it's not something that's going to work on every single game, but a lot of games have bows out right now on the PS5, and all the bows feel really cool. All the guns in Borderlands feel really cool. And ultimately, if you don't like it, because I didn't really like the way it felt in Miles Morales, because I got so used to playing normal Spider-Man, you can just turn it off, and hey, you don't have to fuck with it.
It is one good reason to play Fortnite.
Yeah,
I've heard the like grippy on it. Like it has like grippy on the grip part, right?
Mhm.
It's shaped like X's and circles and squares and
Yeah,
triangles.
the texture. Yeah,
I think that's cool.
It's-
Can't wait
Um,
for that to rub off.
Hey, I've got the sweatiest hands this side of the Mississippi, and it's still holding up strong. My only
Is it-
complaint,
and that side of the Mississippi.
my
Both
only
sides of
complaint
the
about it
Mississippi.
is that it only exists in white right now. But I know that will be fixed at some point.
Yeah,
like
I
that. I'm
really
not
want
going to
more.
genuinely
more
leverage that
color
as a complaint
options.
against it. But I'm in disbelief that not only did it like meet the hype that they were building for it, but that I think I would rather use this than an Xbox 360 controller.
It's a good feeling controller, and the controller was one of the biggest things I had to get past to convince myself to get a PlayStation. It's because the stores.
Yeah, I don't like the
controllers.
thumbstick setup on PlayStation.
Yeah,
Um,
I generally don't like the thumbsticks both being low. I've just always been used to how Xbox has them offset. But this controller feels really, really good in your hands.
Yeah, something about the control, like I prefer the control stick normally on the Microsoft layout, but something about this controller just feels fine and it feels great.
Yeah, it doesn't. I have no complaints about it.
This is the first Sony controller in 3 generations where if you set it down on a table, it does not pull the triggers.
Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Yeah.
It's-
Are the
Don't
thumbsticks
accidentally
like
quit nuclear throw?
concave or convex or?
They are concave. Well, they're
concave.
they're like depressed circles slightly with
Yeah.
ring around it. They're
Okay.
not
So
like
it's not
PS3
like
ones.
it's not like a full dip, but it's
It's like what PS4 had, I think. PS4 has
Okay.
it's like that.
closer to those.
So that was
Yeah,
my
pretty
issue with
close to
PS1
PS4.
through PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had bad joysticks.
It is amazing. I think that the look of it is also really, really, again, I don't like the white, but I think the overall like aesthetic of it is really, really nice.
Where's
I
my Disney
like the white,
camo?
but I am bummed that they don't have more
Like, the
yet.
buttons
Like
look so
I like
good.
I like having 2 controllers so that I always have one charged, but I'm trying to hold out until there's color options.
Has a fucking rechargeable battery. I think that has to
Get
be
your
worth
heart out,
mentioning.
Microsoft.
I've been someone who has had Microsoft stuff almost exclusively for a long time, so that's really nice.
I saw some horseshit people defending that shit online.
It doesn't make any sense.
It promotes the
People-
economy because you have to keep buying fucking batteries.
People will defend
Awful.
anything.
But yeah,
Yeah. Controllers
I-
should be cheaper if they don't have
No.
rechargeable batteries.
No.
They even like they have a built-on the share button's much better on it. The touchpad, like it's just
Yeah.
it's the best controller I've ever used. And I want to use it for
Which-
everything.
I feel like that's how it should be, with it being the newest generation of controllers and having the the height of technology or whatever the fuck in it. But I feel like it should be the best controller.
I just
so
like that
far.
they actually change things
Yeah.
like generation to generation, where like the Xbox One it's pretty much identical except for they rotated the battery 90 degrees.
I don't think
Then
that
the
the Xbox
Xbox
One
One-
feels as good as the 360.
Yeah, they changed
I-
some stuff, like things that
I
they were
think
like, they're
I think
improvements, but they
I
were
think
just
the one's
changes.
better. I think the one's better than the 360 by a slight amount. Like going back to a 360 wireless controller, it feels like there's nowhere to put my adult-sized hands because of
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, because the battery pack. I will
Yeah,
say that was
I-
the one
I
improvement
don't like
that they.
Where like the wired 360 controllers feel really good, but I don't want a wired controller.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
But I did when
DualSense-
when I used my PS3, I bought a wired controller for the PS3 that was set up like a 360 controller.
Oh, that had the
Bad
like
man.
joystick switched.
Joystick switched. It was shaped like a 360 controller
Mhm.
and everything too. It was a really nice controller, but it died super quick for whatever reason.
I think that the DualSense makes it sound pretentious as hell, and Sony themselves are pretentious as hell.
Yeah.
But this controller lives up to the hype, and it is fantastic, and it literally gravitates me to buying third-party games on the PlayStation because they might utilize this. It is genuinely going to make me buy games on the PlayStation as opposed to Xbox.
Yeah.
It's
Good.
fucking phenomenal.
I mean, I think even without the like extra features like the trigger shit, I just think it feels good.
Yeah, it's comfy as fuck. That's the other thing. Like, I think if it was just one of the things about it, it wouldn't do it. But not
Like,
only is it comfy as hell, but
I think the trigger thing is bad in some scenarios.
like it's like if you were playing Call of Duty multiplayer, I would want to turn it off because I want
I
it to be
did.
as fast as possible.
Yeah, I turned it off immediately when I got the new Call of Duty.
Yeah. Like, but hey, you can turn it off, and that's
Yeah.
what's cool. Like, but like in Borderlands, it's cool as fuck.
And
Like,
like
I
you
hate-
turn it off per game. You don't have to like turn it off at the system level.
But you can also, and you can like do the varying degrees of intensity with the rumble in it. It like Xbox has that like HD rumble stuff that they fucking promoted the hell out of and then never did anything with except Forza. This one it blows it out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
Like
It
doing
does.
this like feeling
I
the
was-
different textures of the ground in Astrobot is amazing.
I was immediately sold in Astro when they showed like the animation of all the little like robots going inside of the controller, and then you could shake the controller
Yeah.
and you felt them rumbling around in your hand, and you could like hear them screaming inside the controller because the controller has a speaker on it.
Yeah.
Still don't like that, but
Can't believe you killed all those robots.
It's so good, and I'm in disbelief that they did it, but they somehow pulled it off. So that is my number 2 weapon or tool, and I will pass
Yeah.
it off to Matt.
so speaking of Astrobot and the DualSense, my number 2 tool is actually the monkey suit.
Oh, Monkey Suit's good.
I thought about
Like,
it.
Monkey Suit's
of-
fucking good.
Of all of the sequences and little extra things that you get to do in Astrobot, I think the monkey suit is my favorite. So
It's by far
for
the
Ryan
best.
and Hunter,
Yeah, what's the
it's-
monkey suit?
you get in. It's just a big monkey that you sit in that stands on his legs, and you have to use the triggers and move the controller to get
To like climb.
him to like move his hands up
Huh.
to
You're like
climb
climbing like a
walls and
rock
shit.
wall.
And, but they have resistance built onto them
Yeah.
so that and also with like some of them, they're like loose rocks. And if you push too hard on the trigger, the rock will break and you'll fall.
Yeah.
So you have
It's-
to like lightly apply pressure to those. It's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And given
So then the
Astronaut's
whole-
a tech demo for the controller,
Yeah.
but it's
But
so
oh
cool.
god, it's so fucking
But
So
the
good.
it's
game,
that
I mean, the
one
gameplay is
Donkey
really
Kong
enjoyable.
GBA game.
Yeah, it's King of Swing.
And it's by far the best, like, of the, what are there, 3 different types of suits that it has
There's
you get in?
Ball, Rocket, Monkey, and there was what's the other?
Spring.
Oh, it's Spring.
Spring
Spring fucking
sucks.
Yeah,
sucks.
spring sucks.
Spring was by far the
yeah.
worst.
I never liked Super Monkey Ball, so I didn't.
I
like
love the ball. Like
I
the monkey
hated
is
the
better,
ball
but I
with
love
a
the ball.
passion. I hated.
I didn't mind the ball, but Monkey was the
I liked
best,
the
and Spring was
frog
the
better
worst.
than the ball. I like the frog a lot better than the ball.
Oh, but yeah,
But yeah,
Monkey Suit's
Monkey
good.
Suit was fucking phenomenal. I loved
Monkey
it.
Suit was the
Donkey
one
Suit.
when I had to show the game to Dad and like show off the controller to him. I showed him the Monkey Suit.
Yeah. Well, your dad loves monkeys, so
Astrobot turned himself into a
Canonically.
monkey suit. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Jason, what is your Monkey Suit of the year?
What are we on, number 2?
Too.
whichever one is the monkey
mine-
suit.
Mine is the shield in Hades. It's the only weapon that I've had moderate success with,
Shield is good.
but I
Yeah,
haven't
I
gotten
really like
I
shield.
haven't gotten the assault rifle yet.
Assault Rifle's pretty fun. Like it works better than I thought. Like I remember when I was like doing that Twitch stream to just show what the game was like to whoever I made that stream for.
Follow Dash on Twitch.
I ended up just like picking up the assault rifle and then just did a run with it because it's so you can just like zip around, like just kind of plant yourself and just bounce around. It's really really fun.
Yeah,
Assault
I'm on my way to
rifle,
unlocking
yeah.
it, but I keep spending all my keys on the mirror.
You should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably the best.
You have the shield. Like
Right. I just kind of want to unlock all the weapons to have them all.
they played like I would say that the spear and the sword are maybe the most overlap, but everything plays pretty distinctly, in a way that's really cool.
The one
I liked
time
the
I used
sword.
the spear, I immediately got a hammer that made it so its attack did 3 instead
Yeah.
of the 1. And I was like, oh, spear's really good. But then I tried to use spear again and I did not get that hammer. And I was like, oh, spear's only kind of okay.
Yeah, spear's all right. Oh well. Again, they're all good except bow. Fuck bow.
Yeah, as someone who really always loves archery in games, the bow sucks.
It attacks too slow on its normal attack, and then the fan attack is too weak.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Hunter, what's your number
Like-
2?
My number 2 is the sticky grenades from the shotgun in Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah. You got to
Good.
shoot them on the arachnoids. Lazy beam.
Yeah.
Those onto the Revenant's shoulder cannons. The sticky grenades just really seemed like my go-to for most of the situations, and then I would
Every
swap from there.
every enemy I see is getting at least one sticky grenade on them.
And being able to shoot them in mouths and
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I got
a
something
really
to shoot in your
I
mouth.
think it's a really good like blend of utility and also like a good skill ceiling on it. Like being able to quickly do accurate grenade attacks is an incredibly beneficial thing.
Which I'm pretty sure I said this during the Game of the Generation, but like
You didn't.
there's only like 2 arenas in the whole game that are large enough to where you can't just sticky grenade something. So it's like they just replace the sniper scope thing for the assault rifle because it's like, why the fuck use that when I can just sticky grenade something?
Sticky grenades are good. But Ryan, what is your number 1 sticky grenade of the year?
It is actually the sticky hook from the same game. I really like the meat hook in that game. I remember seeing that in the trailer and being like,
Yeah.
that's gonna make that game super fucking cool. And then I
But-
played the game and
And
it
guess
made
what?
that game super fucking cool.
The meat hook in the trailer, I was immediately just drawn in. I mean, I already knew I wanted to play the game, but the meat
Mhm.
hook,
Grappling
really good.
hooks kick ass.
Yeah, just Doom is a lot about, moving around and closing distances, and it adds more mobility and it lets it so you can close distances quicker. Like a lot of that game is me just like, I'm taking out dudes over here. I jump and I meat hook this dude's face and fly towards him and blast him. And I don't know, I didn't realize you could make Doom 2016 feel better to play, and then I played this one. It feels fucking amazing.
So my number one weapon or tool of the year is the shield from Hades, except specifically it is the Zeus shield. This is the first weapon I beat the game with, and it behaves largely like the normal shield, except it's when you throw it, instead of like doing the Captain America bouncing around shit, it will slowly move around the arena, and you can like keep wailing on dudes with the normal attack. So you kind of like enter a room, throw it one direction, run the other direction, start wailing on dudes. You can recall it back to you and like hit everything coming back. When you started playing like Zeus boons to it, you're basically like throwing it out, it's shooting lightning everywhere. You run up and just fucking beat the shit out of dudes, bring it back. You can, with like enough coordination, you can kind of figure out where it's going to stop spinning, and it'll just sit there and like just sit there and spin forever. So if like a boss doesn't move around a bunch, you can throw it on them, like the butterfly balls, those big pink orbs.
Oh, fuck
like,
those
throw
things.
it at those, and it'll keep hitting them while you're running around and like beating up other shit. It is the most like satisfying and rewarding weapon out of. I've used every single weapon in that game and every variant of every weapon at this point, and it is still second to none. It is so much fun to use. I think I've beaten the game like 5 times with that weapon. It's just great, and it is the best weapon or tool of the year.
Some might say.
With that, I will go ahead and pass it to Matt.
So, my best tool of the year, I went with the remote EMP for Miles.
I believe you.
Yeah, I on my paper or on my list, I wrote remote empanada, but
Ooh.
Okay, no, I
You
remember.
had
I
to
remember
use a
now.
dash.
I remember
There's
now.
an
Yeah, it was
achievement
the
for it.
Prowler thing. It was the Prowler thing. The
Yes,
thing
it's the
gives you.
Prowler
Okay, I
thing.
remember
You
now.
you had to use it. You got a trophy for it.
Mhm.
I love how cheesy it is, because you shoot it on a little fuse box, and all the guys around are like, "Huh? What the fuck was that?" And then they all just go over and they stand around it, and they're like, "Well, that was fucking weird." And then you just hit the little button and they all die right now.
Who would have thought? Guy who loves Hitman a lot loves the EMP detonator.
Who would have thought? Who would have fucking?
Hitman
Who
ass
would have
weapon.
imagined? Yeah, I just thought it was a lot of fun. It was super cheesy, and I liked there was an achievement for it because it encouraged me to use it way more than I probably would have otherwise. But it was a guaranteed easy stealth kill, and I, unlike Dash,
I will say,
I enjoyed playing that game in a stealthy kind of a way.
I don't know what
Dash
that
went
weapon
in
does
for a
because I
1,000
literally
piece
never
combo.
use stealth.
Dash went in for a 1,000 hit combo, whereas I hung from the ceiling and tried to not get seen by anyone.
I really love the fact that game you can play it either way, whichever way you prefer, and still have a fantastic time with it. Like I actively hated stealth in both of the games.
Like the only thing about it that fucked me was I had to actively try for the 100 hit combo.
Oh.
But I found the perfect mission for it, and I just restarted it a couple of times, and it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the EMP. It was great.
Jason, what is your number one weapon or tool of the year?
What was your number one Spider-Man gadget?
My number one weapon or tool was the Tonto from Ghost of Tsushima,
Really?
which is your little
The horse?
See, I played the game correctly by
weird
using a
reference.
bunch of stealth.
Fuck
So
that.
I assassinated a lot of people.
Not honorable.
That's the way the game is meant to be played.
Yeah, I know. It makes the story have some jarring implications if you don't play that game in stealth mode. But whatever, we'll get there. We'll talk about it.
I thought it was. I liked leveling it up and all that good stuff.
Well, it was good for like Jin's character development too, because like the first time you stealth kill some dude, he has like a fucking flashback to where his uncle's like, "Remember, we're honorable.
Honorable.
We never stealth kill people."
That's what he says.
Word for word.
But yeah, we'll talk about the story of Ghost of Tsushima in a bit. Hunter, what's your number one weapon or tool?
My number one, it was originally going to be the Gesture of the Drowned, but I was like, "Oh, Dash."
Don't you fuck me on this. I need you to pick the thing I think you're going to pick.
And I don't think I did, because there's a lot of stuff in Risky too. I chose the I can't remember if it's old or rusty guillotine.
No.
What, you thought it was going to do Royal Capacitor or something?
No, I thought you were going to do Shrine of the Mountain.
I was thinking about it, but
Oh well.
I did.
Well, maybe you should have
guillotine-
picked it then.
It
Yeah,
was
binge.
it got cut at the last second for gesture.
I did guillotine specifically because that's an item that makes you kill elite enemies faster. And after about the first 20 minutes of a run, all enemies are elite enemies. So it just kind of becomes a necessary item.
Like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in Risk of Rain is either situational or like good for certain characters. The guillotine is good 1000% of the time. It is never ever ever a bad pickup. And few of the items in the game truly, I think, resonate that quite as well as the guillotine. Well, whereas like the goat hoof is also pretty generally useful, but the guillotine, always happy to see it.
And like guillotine is, like Dash said, it's useful for every character, but then like Acrid, for instance, is all about doing damage over time on dudes and getting them low. So if you got a couple guillotines, you can just shoot some poison out at a group of dudes and just start running away and knowing they're all going to die here in like 10 seconds because it'll stack poison and bleed and stuff on them.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's like maybe not the most fun pick, but it is one of the best utility items.
It's the most pixel pick. It's not
Yeah.
very realistic.
It's a stylized weapon.
Yeah.
So that's going to do us for weapon or tool. Does anyone have like any other quick runners up they want to shout out? I think there were some great weapons and tools this year. Spider-Man had some great gadgets.
Right on the mountain.
Astrobot's foot lasers.
Astrobot's foot lasers are pretty good.
I don't remember what else I played.
Astrobot's foot lettuce.
Number 15.
It was my number 4 that had to get cut, but I think the confrontation mechanic in Ghost of Tsushima whips so much fucking ass.
Dash, why don't you
Um,
tell us about Shrine of the Mountain now that we're talking about fucking
Shrine of the
Microsoft?
Mountain makes more bosses show up, which gets you more items. We'll talk about Shrine of the Mountain in a later category. Don't worry.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, good.
Also, it's like, again, I didn't want to like highlight this because the game, I don't really count it as a 2020 game, but with the release of Persona 5 Royal, they fixed how guns work in that game.
They don't.
In the original Persona 5, when you go into like a dungeon, every character essentially has one magazine of ammo for the entire dungeon, which
they
we're
have
talking
to.
whatever, like 2, like you get maybe like 5 shots off, and very very few enemies are weak to guns. So what you would end up doing is the rare occasion where in weak to it, you'll like shoot one bullet at them and then just stop and like wait for the animation to kind of just like go through its shit so you can conserve all your ammo. In Persona 5, they make it so they reload your gun every single fight, so you can actually use guns in that game. And I'm really cool about that. I think that rules, but that's not really a 2020 game.
I mean, that's good because in the original version, the bullshit reasoning, because they're fake guns, but they work because they look like real guns. So that's why you can shoot bullets. It's like,
Hand wave.
Then why
Use
do
your
I only,
imagination.
it's like, then why do I only have 12 shots for
Yeah.
the entire thing?
I
Because
think
after that, they start to realize it's a fake gun. They've had enough time to look at it.
I think that is the definitive version of the game to play anyway, but specifically because of them fixing guns, I can only recommend playing that version of the game.
Plus, it's got the extra content. But
Yeah, but mostly it fixes guns. But yeah, though that's everything for weapon or tool.
Honorable mention to Mario's stretchy arms.
Honorable mention to Jason.
Honorable mention to foot lettuce.
Honorable mention to this headset. It's a very nice headset. I like it a lot. Glad I got it. But yeah, with that, we will then move over in the next episode to best story or writing of which,
That's what you think.
yeah.
Got him.